Since before I could remember, video games have been evolving and improving, especially over the past few years and decades. Now, although they've existed for a long time, that doesn't change how the video games and the characters within them have kept a special place in our hearts. For some of us, it's almost as if we admire them to the extent of them being a role model. Many people have experienced the endless wonders of living in digitally recreated worlds, so distant yet so close to our own. With all the nostalgia we get from playing games in arcades or with friends, there's no way that we'd ever leave these worlds behind. Even now, the evolution of games has traversed through multiple platforms: Atari, Nintendo, PC, Xbox, etc. Raise your hand if you used to play Pong. How about Tetris? See, some of us may have been able to play those games, but I haven't. I personally have played Super Mario and other games. At some point or another, though, we've all played some type of video game. Whether you grew up with arcade machines, or joysticks, or controllers, or I have a PC, we can all remember the joy we had and how much fun it was to experience virtual entertainment for the first time. I also had a DS when I was little, so I was very much into video games. In the beginning of video game history, there wasn't much. Most games were either a 2D scroller, a little box with a joystick and some buttons, or some people grew up with chat box games, where players would type out commands. Nick Moffert, a professor of digital media at MIT, explained chatbox games by saying, "The player issues textual commands to move through an often confusing series of rooms and passages and undertakes actions in those spaces." Games like Adventure, made by Woke Crowther and Don Woods, had no graphics whatsoever. The only explanation of what you had around you and what you saw was given in the form of text. Since the development of computerized games, the root of video games started to revolve around the WASD keys, more formally known as the W, A, S, and D keys. Rather than typing out directions, you would use these keys to move the main character around the game. This was initially popularized in Quake, a first-person shooter game. I don't know if any of you have played it. I haven't, but I've seen it and it was fun. From the past, even up till today, almost all 3D games have a lot of ideas that they share together. One being the virtual space is larger than the screen. Second being the terrain moved based on your character's movements. So if you had your WASD keys, you would control your character and the camera would shift with the point of view of your character. And the third being that people couldn't walk off the face of the earth. Since the earth is round, they would often appear elsewhere after transitioning off the screen. After some technological advancements were made, such as improvements to gameplay, mechanics, user control, graphics, and even platform availability, many games were rebooted to appeal to a wider age range. Some fans demanded sequels, while only some games got them. Games such as Diablo, The Elder Scrolls, and Donkey Kong Country had sequels. In fact, Tomb Raider had many different sequels and versions to the game. Originally introduced in 1996, the game Tomb Raider was rebooted in 2013. Coming after the reboot was a movie that revolved around the newer version of the game. This was a major event in gaming, especially since one of the few female characters you could play as was Lara Croft. Since 2013, there has been Lara Croft in the Temple of Osiris, Tomb Raider, Underworld, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and many others. One being Rise of the Tomb Raider, which was the 11th sequel to the 2013 Tomb Raider series. Game diversity is something that video games strive in terms of what people want in a game. Because of all the things that gamers can do, such as playing the villain, playing a hero, or even being a fictional character, there's almost never a dull moment in gaming. There's always something new to do, and there's even secrets in the game, such as Easter eggs. For example, Call of Duty has various amounts of Easter eggs that you can complete, along with achievements that you get. In real life, you conform to society and the laws that come with being alive. However, video games give gamers a false reality so they can do things that they normally can't do. It's similar to an outlet for people with stress. It's also an outlet for people who have uneasiness or social anxiety, like myself. Gaming is a great way to get people to open up. This could lead to friendships. This could lead to online friends. This could lead to meeting new people. Sometimes people struggle with meeting people outside the gaming world, and this is a great way to help overcome those problems and open people up a little bit. Rigby, the founder of a psychology research group who specializes in virtual worlds and technology, says, "Think about the powerful satisfaction this gives to our basic need for choice and volition in our lives. While in the molecular world, we hope for just a few moments to ourselves each day and dream of having more freedom to pursue our interests. In digital worlds, there is a constant menu of opportunities from which we get to choose. Here, Rigby is basically explaining how much freedom gamers are given. It's as if your dreams were accompanied by a reality where you can't be demoralized or found dead in a river. Nowadays, there's virtual reality, augmented reality, and many more new updates to the gaming society. Games are constantly being patched, various bugs are being fixed, and gaming communities are sharing the love for new games and characters. Many people have loved gaming since spawn, while others have only recently come across casual gaming. Casual gaming being newer games such as Call of Duty 4, or Battlefield, or Fortnite. Puzzle designer and computer game designer Scott Kim stated, "The point is that people play different types of games for different reasons. Expert gamers play for the longer-term rewards of competition and rankings, whereas casual gamers play for the shorter-term rewards of beauty and distraction." They basically get away from the real world for a little bit, so that's what they do in their free time. For some people, in some cases, it's become a profession, and even tournaments today have gamers who spend tons of their time practicing and mastering their games. I myself have joined in many competitions. I failed, but I joined in them because I like to think of myself as a more devoted gamer. In recent times, games have become way more complex. Various multiplayer games test gamers and their reflexes. Some games, with storylines, allow for the gamer to make their own decisions. This impacts the entire gaming theory. The theory that whenever you play a game, everything in the real world goes away, and you're fully devoted to being that character you portray. This usually leads to situations where gamers have to act on their instincts. The adrenaline rush that gamers get from doing this makes them feel alive, similarly as if they were playing the character. Being shot is like dying in the real world. Now, regardless, whether it's to watch the high-level matches on stream or to compete in the tournaments yourself, gaming has always been something that welcomes everyone. Video games can and have appealed to gamers of all sorts, including the more devoted, me, or even casual gamers, maybe some of y'all. Watching as people control the characters on screen keep us captivated as we embark on the journey together. Not only does the gameplay continue to service the gamers, but the characters themselves will never leave our hearts or minds. Experiencing all of the epic or tragic moments with the characters bring out our passion for the heroes we wish to be.